Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's a free and easy way to support the modern investor on YouTube. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So, hello, we're here. We've moved back to Optimism Prime. A lot of the news that we've been getting as of late, for those of you who might have missed it, all the analysts believe that the bottom has passed. We are apparently, allegedly, at least at the time of me making this video, not going to be going any lower. They think that the numbers have been hit. The majority of the retail investors who've been selling, they're kind of exhausted. There's always like a bit of a selling exhaustion news. And based off of that, for those of you who've been missing it, the optimism is back. Woo! Yeah, like I said. So a lot of people think that we are poised. We are currently standing on our tippy toes, ready to jump and float into the atmosphere. It sounds insane, but that's basically what's going on. Samson Mow, famous Bitcoin maximalist and chief executive officer at the Jan 3 company, which is focused on bringing or helping nation states to adopt Bitcoin, has shared his take on the continuous side trading that the world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, has been going through recently. The summer, more or less or more, was basically sideways movements. A lot of people expressed confusion, myself included, because of the amount of, money flowing into the market, the amount of Bitcoin being taken off of exchanges. You just kind of assume that logic would follow. However, apparently, since all of that has happened, we are through the wilderness, and now the next portion is basically Uptober or Uptember or Up November, whatever everyone keeps calling these things. Mao believes that Bitcoin is about to start growing big, fast. That's what the article says, and that's also what the title says, and that's also what Samson Mow says. Bitcoin had been trading flat since around the 28th of August, after it plummeted by almost 9% within 3 days, losing 64,000 and falling to 58,000 since the 28th of August. The digital gold has been going up and down, logically, once rising by 3.8%, reclaiming 60,000, and then falling by 4.5% and then 2.2%. That's what falling sounds like. You go up and then you go down. That's why it's called falling. However, lately, whether it has been rising or falling, Bitcoin has always returned to 59,000 US dollars. Staying within this range, the Jan 3 boss stated that while many people are beginning to reckon that Bitcoin will go sideways forever, he said this is the wrong view. He stated that he is seeing Bitcoin preparing to start increasing in price on a large scale, and he said that's usually when it goes up a lot, end quote. He said the words, that's usually when it goes up a lot. So Samson Mow is popular within the space because he is one of the peoples who believes and has said before that Bitcoin is going to $1 million. If I am not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it is he and the other guy from Blockstream, other guy, name, face, who said that in the middle end of 2025, we would have a $1 million Bitcoin. Samson Mao also gained heavily in popularity this year. He's one of the first people to say that by the end of 2024, we will have a $100,000 to a $150,000 Bitcoin. Whether this comes to fruition, that's basically up for the Fed and a bunch of other world events to decide. But it's nice to see the optimism there. He tends to be sometimes one of the more eccentric people. And I will say, here he is actually not incorrect. So he's actually quite right here. There was when was it? I want to say 2020. I want to say 2020. I don't know why. A couple of years ago, definitely years ago, there was some analyst who kept on like posting on Twitter. I don't remember who it was at all. There's so many different analysts. But there was one that was like gaining notoriety. He kept on saying, nope, not now. Nope, not now. Nope, not now. And then at some point, he tweeted, he was like, okay, now. It's going to happen. Now. And that week, the market like surged. So I can't remember who that was, but maybe they'll pop up again in popularity. It's usually when people kind of count it out. Usually can tell by market sentiment as well, like depending on how low people are, like can't get any lower. All the depressed people have kind of left the market. It is usually when the market usually tends to tick back upward. So that's the Samson Mao popular news. Bitcoin go up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Goes up a lot. News. Man, yeah. Let's move on. Also in popular news, I don't know why this was so popular, but it seems like logic to me. The Zurich Cantonal Bank, Switzerland's fourth largest bank, has launched crypto trading and custody services, expanding its financial offerings. Switzerland has kind of been like the hub over the last few years within Europe, next to Germany and Portugal. Portugal's never in the news anymore. Does anyone know why? That's a real question. Portugal, for those of you who don't know, I assume they still do, years ago had a 0% tax rate on crypto. And yeah. Oh, they also for those of you who don't know, who are looking to move, Portugal also has, I think, a 0% tax rate to any foreigner who moves there for the first like 5 or 10 years. It's some like really weird thing, but it's actually genius because so many rich people move to Portugal. They pay no taxes. And a lot of people who I've personally come into contact with, the extra money that they save, they simply buy property there. But I mean, also, I don't know if you've been watching the news. I mean, if you've been watching news specifically about Portugal, then you and me are kind of right here. Yeah, Portugal has been going up a lot in price, and their major cities are getting more expensive. I mean, I can't imagine why, with 0% taxes and basically all the rich people just buying up tons of property as they save on taxes. Yeah, like look it up. Like, it's actually kind of weird. But I assume they still have free or like zero taxes on crypto, but they're never in the news anymore. So standing right next to them has been Switzerland. It's either been Zurich or Zug, or there was one other place. I don't remember the other one. I don't remember. Where basically people were walking around, and we've had news stories before where people were walking through like train stations, and they saw that there were like not only Bitcoin ATMs, but like the machines where you get your tickets, you could also buy Bitcoin from them. They've been like a pretty... You know, it's Switzerland. It's a bunch of rich people that like, I don't assume that they're going to shy away from making more money. So yeah, the fourth largest bank in Switzerland has announced that they're getting into crypto. Surprise! Crazy, right? Yeah, why would they be doing that? In a September 4th press release, the bank said the new offering is integrated into its existing digital platforms, including ZKB e-banking and ZKB mobile banking. The bank partnered with Crypto Finance AG, a subsidiary of Deutsche Börse Group, to execute crypto trades, the press release has read. We're actually, and this I only got this like right now. if you look back at the last 3 weeks, the 3 weeks is significant. The last 3 weeks, there's been a lot of like bank news. We just had the banks in Brazil. We had, was it one in Colombia? I don't remember. There's been about, I want to say 10 to 15 banks recently in the news. It kind of gets looked over. It's never like the most exciting news. But there's been a lot of banks announcing that they're like launching crypto trading or that their customers can start doing this. They're like, we only had institutions before, but now it's retail. And the last 3 weeks is interesting because if you've been paying attention to the numbers, that technically should have been when the market was going to start pumping again. Because usually it's after the 90 to 100 days after the halving that we tend to see the market really rush back up quickly again. So it looks like a lot of the banks are basically releasing all this information now about crypto trading and custody and all these other things, which is also bananas. I'll get to that in a second. But it seems that they're releasing all this stuff like in anticipation of the bull run and or the mega bull run having already begun. Get it? Like they're like, we have to release the information before, the actual thing begins and all the hype enters into the market. When I say that it's bananas, it's because like this was not a thing years ago. Like banks didn't remember, like banks hated crypto. They hated Bitcoin. It wasn't a thing. Nobody liked it. Blockchain, not Bitcoin. And now like it's everywhere. It's being integrated into everything. Every bank has services, for this and their customers. And how many people are going to take advantage of this? Probably very few, because for some reason, the vast majority of the people who should be in the market are not. But it is interesting to think that like walking into a bank, someone might offer you like, guys want some crypto as they like open their jacket. It's not going to happen, but you understand. Yeah, I find it personally quite interesting how far we've come as a market. Do you understand like crypto's everywhere? Irrespective of what prices might be doing, people keep pretending that we're not like really far ahead in the market, that this isn't everywhere, that this isn't like integrated into everything. Anyway, yeah, that's the fourth largest bank in Switzerland has announced cryptocurrency offerings. Never forget, my friend, you as a bank can't offer crypto to people unless you already have been buying it. All these banks have been buying up Bitcoin and crypto, and no one also seems to pick up on that either. So yeah, banks own Bitcoin. They are probably expecting it to do great things as well. And I just only want people to pay attention. I know a lot of people won't, but Merry Christmas to those who do. That's the rich people doing rich people things news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in people were surprised at this news, and I don't understand why. Uniswap, one of the largest DeFi platforms, wink, currently being supported by Uniswap Labs. According to the CFTC, the DeFi wink platform allows leveraged trading without permission, violating regulations. Therefore, they must pay $175,000 as a fine and cease violating the Commodities Exchange Act, or the CEA. The CFTC said today's action once again shows that the Enforcement Division will vigorously enforce the CEA as digital asset platforms and DeFi, wink, ecosystems evolve. DeFi platforms must ensure their services comply with the law, end quote. Yeah, people were shocked. That the CFTC enforced and did some regulating. People tend to, in crypto only, hear about the US SEC. No, my friend, the CFTC are also regulators of commodities and futures. And the reason why we have commodities and futures, for why Bitcoin is a commodity, is because of the CFTC. why we have Bitcoin futures is because of these, like they regulate all of these things. The reason why I kept on winking at all of you was mainly because people are slowly realizing that DeFi actually isn't DeFi. The point of DeFi is meant to be decentralized to the point where no one runs it and no one controls it. Remember how, like, randomly, like 3 years ago, all these DeFi platforms were popping up and I was like, red flag. And everyone was like, no, TMI, you're wrong. Same as Kevin O'Leary, we're going to make $9 bajillion. And all these platforms kept on disappearing and they were rug pulls, similar to how I keep warning you about Solana. And then eventually, a lot of them were getting cease and desist letters and like, hey, stop doing this. And I was like, hey, does anyone realize that like that means they have an office? That means they have a physical location. And then a lot of these people, remember, don't forget, we were finding out that a lot of these were actually, like I said it many times, it was like 5 guys in a room like running these platforms. So the point of DeFi and decentralized exchanges is that no one essentially runs them. You have people who check up on them. You have people who can like add to their code or do things like with the community as it is decentralized. You know how like when you put something on Bitcoin or on Ether, like you have to have like a community vote? This doesn't happen on any DeFi platform. And also you can't send a letter to someone telling them that they violated an issue if they have an office, meaning that it's not super decentralized. And many of these projects, I don't care how many Uniswap, Unicorn, Cinnamon Toast Crunch swap, I don't care how many nodes they have. Many of these projects tend to only have like 4 or 5 actual validators on them. And it's usually the people who created them. So yeah, this was major news. People were completely shocked and couldn't understand how this could happen. And we're like, no, it can't be. Uniswap does nothing. It's swappy. You only use it for... Yeah, this happens all the time. And as always, I ask you to do some form of due diligence when using any of these platforms or putting your money anywhere. But the hype train is way too strong. People prefer to hear on a lot of these platforms, for those of you who don't understand the hype, a lot of these platforms promise very high returns. So they'll say, well, your bank account gets you 2% and Apple gets you 4%. Well, guess what? We'll give you 38%. The people go, oh my gosh, that doesn't make any sense. Here, take all my money. And then these platforms disappear and there's a lot of rug pulls. And then people wonder why is because 38% doesn't make any sense. Some of them used to offer 99%. And I remember in videos being like, you all know there's a problem here, right? No, TMI, you're crazy. I'm going to get my money's gone. Anywho, yeah, that's the Uniswap Labs. Got in trouble by the CFTC. And now they're going to comply with the law. That's what all things decentralized do, right? Okay. Let's move on. Also, in nonsense news, the Dogecoin Foundation is trying to find a way to remain relevant. Recently in the news, I believe Elon Musk, sorry, I'm stretching. Oh, my back. Oh, gosh, that was great. Elon Musk recently tweeted something with the word Dogecoin in it. I'm not sure if other people have been realizing how unhinged a number of crypto celebrities have been recently. But yeah. So he posted recently like something about the word Dogecoin and the price went up by I think 6% or something like that. And there were an enormous amount of articles discussing and asking if this was the next step for Dogecoin. Is Dogecoin going to do this? And all these other kinds of things, because Dogecoin really has a very small, strict set of people who like it and who think that it's going to be used everywhere, irrespective of the billions was it 6 billion coins created per year. That's not a fake number, by the way. So the Dogecoin group, team, foundation is looking for a way to get back to it, to remain relevant, because no one's talking about them anymore. We get far more news about Shiba Inu as a meme coin than we have about Dogecoin in a very long time. No one cares about the project except for people who really like Dogecoin and really stan Elon Musk. I mean, I don't understand how any of you. So the Dogecoin Foundation has updated their roadmap, highlighting a new update called Project Sakura, a protocol upgrade poised to increase block size by tenfold. Wow. Augment block size similarly and ensure maximum decentralization. Sure, that's what they all say. It says a development that has sparked vibrant discussion within the community. No, it actually hasn't. Because people who are into Dogecoin or have Dogecoin, they just want the price to rise over $1. They don't care about any upgrades or updates or what happens or who's doing what with this or that or how. They just want Elon Musk to talk about it and to integrate it into Twitter. The entire block size discussion, for those of you who don't know, is very old school. It's like 2015, 16, 17 Bitcoin. The idea is to basically make sure that it's easier for transactions to happen on Bitcoin, that it has a quicker transaction speed, that it has all these other things. And even that doesn't usually come into question anymore for a number of blockchains, because the people who were releasing all that information years ago realized that like no one actually cared about it. And when it comes to decentralization, 99% of people don't care about decentralization. They want to relinquish all their power to Elon Musk, the guy from Dell, the guy from BlackRock, and what's the other rich person? Most people don't care about actually like decentralization means like around the world, for those of you who don't get it. Like decentralization usually is marketed as the amount of nodes and validators you have around the world. Let's make it more decentralized. Let's give the community more power over things, which is never the actual case. Like it's not an actual thing. Decentralization in crypto for an actual decentralized cryptocurrency, not saying that Dogecoin isn't decentralized, but the point is to actually like bring it to the masses. Same with Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is like, struggling a bit with its identity, because the point of Bitcoin is to bring it to everyone, not to kiss the toes of billionaires on Twitter when they mention the letters BTC and you go, you should buy all of it to raise the price. It's for everyone, but people also don't care about other people. As outlined in their roadmap on Thursday, the foundation strategy unfolds in 3 major steps. The first step is making things more accessible and developer ecosystem, yada, yada, and something called Dogecoin. Okay. In multi-language bindings. According to the foundation, this phase has already reached full completion, sure, and includes the Dogecoin multi-language bindings, growing dev community, growing ecosystem of FOSS projects, and businesses accepting D. They are wrong for that one. The second step aims to lower the barrier for Dogecoin adoption, both in businesses and for 1.7 billion people unbanked. Yes, I'm sure that 1.7 billion people who don't have bank accounts are just, they can't wait to adopt Dogecoin. Dogecoin isn't being used by anyone. It's like, okay, stop. Like you see the significance of like the 4th largest bank in Switzerland adopting Bitcoin. So when you go in, you can buy Bitcoin. I'm sure you can sell it. They have a cryptocurrency trading desk. When you go into like certain restaurants and places, or even on the interwebs, you can use Bitcoin as a payment method. There's not even a hint of a whiff of breath about anyone even thinking of making Dogecoin futures, derivatives, options, and we're about a decade and a half away from even thinking of a Dogecoin ETF. There is no barrier for Dogecoin adoption. The barrier's not there. No one wants to adopt it. And the third step, currently at 10% completion, has been piqued the interest of the community. The ambitious Project Sakura seeks to dramatically scale up Dogecoin's throughput to meet global currency scalability norms. Anyway, this was, of course, major news and very popular on Twitter, and it's mainly being shouldered by people who are... Can you tell me why you like Elon Musk? Can you give me like a real reason instead of he's rich and you want to be like him, or the people who aren't on Mars? What else is there? I'm missing a couple stuff. Something about self-driving cars, the Hyperloop. I'm missing a lot of things. Oh, that robot that they pre-programmed to walk around that office. I truly want to know. It's not that, you can't like him as a person. If you're like, I like that he has boats, but everyone kind of worships him and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It costs, there are certain estimates that say that it takes $6 billion to end world hunger. Just 6. That's the Dogecoin upgrade news. No time frame for it. No one wants it. And when all this stuff comes out, Dogecoin will probably fall by around 4 or 5%. And then they'll have to think of a new gimmick to try and get people to use it. Yeah. Anywho, I think that might actually do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope everyone's doing well. I mean, if we can be honest here, as well as you can. It seems like I want to use the words every day. Every day something new and weird and insane keeps happening. And I'm exhausted with keeping track, and I don't feel like I should be keeping track anymore as well. Crypto's crazy enough. Like I bring you like actual like crypto news of what's happening around. I want to say a good 60, 70, maybe 80% of crypto news now is actually insane. The things that people like think, the stuff that they're talking about certain coins, the amount of meme coins coming out all the time. It's actually like cringy isn't the word. It's actually like a little bit sad of what's happened to so much of the cryptocurrency space, because everyone is just looking for the next hypey thing, as opposed to, the thing that's being adopted and mined and collected by banks and governments and institutions. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see in good old 2032. I look forward to reading the comment section and seeing how many people then finally get it when they realize that they went into a Burger King and nobody was accepting Dogecoin, because that's not a thing. I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And Bitcoin goes up a lot. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.